Hi, this is Sekhar Srinivasan, a Microsoft certified trainer and a Pluralsight author. In this video, let us try to understand the new features introduced in Xamarin.Forms 4.4. There are four new features that are introduced in Xamarin.Forms 4.4. One is the support for GIF animations to the image element. The second one is SwipeView, which allows you to swipe any contents from the left, right, top, and bottom. The third one is an enhancement to the Carousel View, and the fourth one is IndicatorView. In this video, let us try to understand all these four features practically with simple demos. I have already created a Xamarin.Forms empty application, and the very first thing that we have to understand before getting started is make sure that your Xamarin.Forms version is 4.4 or above. And in case if your Xamarin.Forms version is not 4.4, make sure that you update the Xamarin.Forms 4.4 in all the three projects. So once it has been updated for the 4.4 version, now we are in a position to get started. So let us try to understand the very first thing. So let me try to create a new page. Let me try to specify a content page. The name I would like to specify it as basic demos, and let me just try to go to the content page. I would like to provide a title, demos on Xamarin.Forms 4.4. Since I wanted to provide the support for GIF animations and also the swipe view, let me try to take a scroll view initially itself so that the content may not get cropped, because I won't be using any list view or collection view here. And the very first thing that I would like to take is a stack layout. Now I would like to use a GIF animation. For that, we don't have to do anything special. So what we have to do is we need to use a element called as image, and we have to specify the source. Okay, so you need to specify the source of any GIF image. So let me just try to open my browser, and I already searched for some particular GIF like globe GIF. Let me copy the image address and let me paste this particular source here. And I have observed the background of this images in black, so let me try to provide the content page background also in black color so that it looks more attractive. And now what I try to do is let me give the height request as, for example, 200 and width request as 200. Now if I stop here itself, then what happens is, in spite you're using GIF, it will not perform any kind of animations, because by default the image element which was introduced with Xamarin.Forms doesn't have a support for the GIF. So what we have to do is I need to type in something called as is animation playing, set this value as true so that the animation will be played for you. In case if you don't want that animation to be played, simply make is animation playing as false. Now once we have created this, let us try to go for the app.xaml.cs and let us try to set this as the main page equal to new navigation page of new basic demos. And now let me try to execute the code. You can observe that the globe is rotating in a proper way, which means that the animations are directly supported with the support of image. Now let us try to continue with the second feature, that is swipe view. Now let me just open the content page, and in order to work with the swipe view, we need to use an element called as swipe view. Here we have to specify how the swiped items has to be displayed. That is, whether you wanted to display the swipe items when you're trying to swipe towards the left side or towards the right side, or from the top to bottom or bottom to top. So I just typed in swipe view dot left items, means whenever the user is going to swipe the elements from left to towards right side, this swipe view elements will be displayed. And now in order to display the swipe view items, we have to use swipe view items, and we have something called as mode. And here we have two types of modes available. One is called as execute, the other one is reveal. Let us try to understand both these modes practically. So let me first use the mode as execute. Once we have set this thing, now we are in a position to define the swipe items. So let me type in swipe item text equal to subscribe, and background color, let me type in something like yellow. And whenever the user clicks on the swipe item, an event called as invoked will be executed. So I try to type in event handler called as si underscore invoke. If you wanted to attach any kind of images as an icon, you can also use icon image source. I already created a video on SwipeView with an advanced way where I have used font awesome as images. If you want, you can refer that, or else you can just use any images by placing them in the resources and accessing them as well. For this demo, I would like to make it very simple, so I'm just not using any icons. Now the next thing that we have to provide is the content that you wanted to display on the swipe. So what I try to do is, let me just try to specify some frame, border color, I just say less blue, and background color, let me just try to use some color, and along with this thing, margin I just specify 10, corner radius say 30. Once I just have this frame, next I would like to use a simple stack layout, and within the stack layout I would like to have a label text swipe from left, and font size I would like to have as title. Along with this thing, I would like to say horizontal text alignment equal to center. And one more label I would like to define to simply say swipe view demo and horizontal text alignment center. Now once we have defined this, in order to execute this, we need an event handler called as si underscore invoked, right? So let me just try to add the event handler code for this thing. So let me type in protected void si underscore invoked object sender event args e. Here I would just wanted to make it very simple, so I just use display alert demo, and I would like to give a message saying that subscribe, like, and comment. Now once I done with this thing, in order to execute the application which is having the swipe view, carousel view, and indicator view, remember that it is compulsory for us to set the flags, because these three components are currently in experimental stage. So let me type in device dot set flags of new array, and we have to specify swipe view underscore experimental carousel view underscore experimental indicator view underscore experimental. Now let me save the code and execute the code. Now let me try to swipe the item towards the left side, and let me just try to leave it. If you just observe it, I have not clicked on that item, but still the code what I have written within the si underscore invoked has got executed. Now let us try to understand the other swipe also. So let me just try to copy swipe view code and let me paste it. And this time, instead of using left items, let me try to set it as right items. And the mode, instead of using execute, let me use it as reveal, and let it be everything is same. And the text for this, I would like to give swipe from right. Now once again, let me try to execute the code. Now let me try to swipe the item from the right side. You can just try to observe it, the subscribe menu item is displayed. Now if you just try to observe it, the code which I have written within the subscribe swipe item is not getting executed. Now let me click on that particular item. Now the code is getting executed. Hope you have understood the difference between execute and reveal. Now, you could have observed the difference. When I used the mode as execute, I was not clicking on the swipe item and the code was getting executed. And when I used the reveal, until or unless I was clicking on the swipe item subscribe, the code was not getting executed. Now, let us try to understand the other two options also, that is from top to bottom and bottom to top. So, what I try to do was, let me just copy this code once again and let me paste it. This time, instead of using right items, I just simply use top items. Let the mode be reveal. Along with the mode, remember this, we have been provided with some kind of behavior also. So we have a property with the name called as swipe behavior on invoked, where we have some options like auto, close and remain open. So let me specify the value as remain open and let us try to understand this thing practically. Now let me try to set this swipe from top. Now let me try to execute this code. Now let me swipe the item from the top. You can just observe the subscribe is being displayed. Now when I try to click on the subscribe option, I can observe the code is getting executed, but this swipe item is not getting closed automatically. So we need to make sure that explicitly we have to swipe it to the top in order to close the swipe item. Now you could have observed the difference. So once I clicked on that particular swipe item, still the swipe item was being maintained. Now let me copy this code once again and let me paste it. This time let me provide the swipe items as bottom items and swipe behavior on invoked, let me just use the value as close and let me provide the text for this as swipe from bottom. Let me save this code and once again let me try to execute the code. Now let me swipe the item from the bottom. We can just try to observe it. The subscribe swipe item is displayed. Now I click on the subscribe option. The message is getting executed and you can observe it. The swipe item is getting closed automatically. You could have observed it. Once I swiped that item, the element is getting closed. I hope you have understood how to use the swipe view, right? Now the next two features that are available for us is a Carousel View and the indicator view. For that, what I would like to do is I would like to create a new class with the name, for example, something called test movie, and I would like to provide some properties for this particular movie. The first one I would like to provide is title, public property string cast, string image URL. Along with that, I would like to provide a color also. So let me try to use system.drawing and I say BG color. In order to make it simple, let me try to create one more class called as public class movie service, where this method has to return me a list of movies. So I would like to define something like public list get movies list. Let me quick fix this particular error. Now this method has to return me a list of movies, so I would like to say return new list of movie and let me try to use a collection initializer to return this particular values. To make it simple, let me try to place some list of movies. Now once we have this particular collection, now let us try to continue with our code. We have a class with the name called as movie and a class called as movie service, which is going to give us a list of movies. Now the next step that I would like to do is let's create a new page to understand how to use a Carousel View forms content page, Carousel View page demo let me give a title for this as demo on Xamarin.Forms 4.4 view. So for doing this, what I do is, let me take a grid dot row definitions, and in the first row I would like to display the carousel view. So I try to specify a row definition, and we need to set the height. Say for example, I give the height as 400, and the next row definition height, I just make it as auto, whatever the height that is required for my second element. In order to define the carousel view, let me type in carousel view x colon name equal to CV movies, and grid dot row equal to 0. And once I specify this particular thing, next in order to display the list of items, I say carousel view dot item template data template, and within the data template, what is the element that you wanted to display, you can use it. So let me use a very simple view for this. So I say frame corner radius equal to 30, and margin equal to 20, and background color, I just try to bind it with the BG color, so each frame will be displayed with some particular color. And once I just have it within this, let me have a stack layout to make the design simple. And in the stack layout, I would like to use an image source binding with the image URL. Width request, I just specify it as 300, and height request, I just specify it as 200. Aspect, I use aspect fit. Next, I would like to have a label to display the movie title. So I say text binding title and font size title. And along with this, let me type in horizontal text alignment as center. I would also like to display the star cast. So binding, I just specify it as cast. Font size, I would like to specify it as title. Horizontal text alignment as center. Quite a simple UI here. Now in order to get the data for this thing, let us try to set the value. So I simply say override on appearing. I need to provide the values. CV movies dot item source equal to new movie service dot get movies list. So this is going to act as a source of data for our carousel view. Now let me make this as our startup page. Equal to new navigation page of new CV page demo. And just to say that these features are going to work exactly the same in iOS also, let me make the startup project this time as iOS, and let's try to execute our code. So this is a simple carousel view. I have not used any kind of enhancements that has been added for carousel view as of now. So you can just try to observe it. We have the carousel view where when I just try to slide it, we are able to get the list of the contents what I just added, where every frame is being designed with one individual background. Now if you just try to observe it, when I try to observe, I'm not sure whether there is some items available after this particular thing or not. It is occupying entirely. If I can able to show up, if there is some other element is also available for sliding, it will be more attractive, right? So let us try to do that, how we can able to achieve this. So let me just open my page once again, and let me just try to stop this. And in order to do that, we have been provided with the new enhancements that is called as peak area insets. So whenever you try to specify the peak area insets, then what happens is, when you are trying to show the first carousel view item, the second carousel view item will have a small peak over here, so that the user will understand that something is available after this. So let me try to specify the peak area insets value as 20. Now let me try to execute this once again to find out the differences and all. So let me try to execute this. Now you can just observe it. I can understand that there is some element is available beside that. Now when I try to slide the second item, I can see that there is an item available towards the left side, and also there is an item available towards the right side. Right, it helps the user to understand that there are some items are available, so it will help the user to slide the content. But if you just try to observe it, there is no gap or space between each item that are present within the carousel view. In case if there is a requirement such that you wanted to add some kind of spacing between this, then what you have to do is we need to set the carousel view layout. For that, what I try to do is within the carousel view, you have to say carousel view dot items layout. Here we have to specify how you wanted to provide the things. So I simply specify the linear items layout. Orientation you can specify horizontal or vertical. I like the orientation as horizontal. The one what you are observing is an horizontal orientation. Along with that, we have a property called as item spacing, where you can just specify some values like this. So I have given the item spacing as 10. Now once again, let me try to execute this. You can just observe now there is a small gap is between each item, right? So depending upon your requirement, you can specify how much space you wanted to provide between each item. So these are the enhancements which has been added towards the carousel view. And the fourth feature that is available is, say now in order to understand how many items are available, I have to swipe it. But if there is a provision for me to indicate that yes, there are 3 items are available, you need to slide it, or 4 items are available to slide it. If there is an indication is there, then it would have been much more easier for us. To make that support, we have been introduced with a new feature called as indicator view. So let us try to understand how to use the indicator view. In order to use the indicator view, you need to use a element called as indicator view, and we need to set one important property that is called as indicator view dot item source by. Here we have to specify the name of the carousel view which you wanted to indicate how many items are available. So let me type in CV movies, and here we have some properties that we have to specify this. So one is called as indication color. What is the color that you wanted to show for the default items that are available? I would like to show the items in a light gray color. And we need to set one more property, that is selected indication color. So in case if a particular carousel item is displayed, what is the current position of that, in which color that icon has to be displayed. I would like to display it in black color, and this has to be displayed on the grid dot row 1. So let me save this particular code, and once again let me execute this code. You can just observe it. There are totally 4 elements are available, and whenever I'm trying to slide that particular items, I can just try to observe it. The indication is getting pointed towards that element. So hope you have understood how to use the GIF animation with an image, the swipe view, carousel view with the enhancements, and indicator view. If you like my video, please make sure that you subscribe my channel. Click on the bell icon to get the latest updates of my videos, and give a like and comment. Thank you for watching my video.